Hey, boys and girls, it's Mrs. Holgate. I'm excited to share with you a fun resource for you at home. This is the Art Institute of Chicago's website. The Art Institute of Chicago is the big museum for art in Chicago, just like we have the Philadelphia Museum of Art here. So on this site, they have a special section for kids. I will link this part of their site in my comments below. But here you can see on this area we have a story time, a matchup, and a play with art. And I'll show you around to all these parts in just a moment. We're going to start with the story time. There are 3 stories listed. I'm going to read to you the middle one, St. George and the Dragon. St. George and the Dragon. Once upon a time, there lived a king and a queen. The king and queen ruled over many fine and faithful subjects. But the kingdom was terrorized by a ferocious dragon. The dragon demanded 1 villager and 1 sheep each day. Villagers were chosen at random. All right, a little bit of humor. That was a little gross. One day, the king and queen's only child, the princess, was chosen to be given to the dragon. Just when the king and queen feared they would lose their daughter, a stranger appeared on a white horse. "What's wrong?" the stranger asked the princess. The princess explained that she was about to become dragon dinner and warned the stranger to leave. "Nonsense," said the stranger. "I shall slay the dragon." Give the stranger a weapon to help him slay the dragon. So we have a shoe, a tomato, and a spear. Let's try that shoe and see if it makes any difference. Down here's the meter to show how we're doing on slaying the dragon. Dragon has good life, and then the dragon doesn't make it. Here we go. Here's a shoe. That just makes the dragon mad. How about a tomato? Oh no, the dragon is doing better because we fed him. Let's get him with the spear. It looks like we did it in 4 strikes. The king and queen and all the villagers cheered with happiness. The stranger had saved them from the horrible dragon. "What is your name, brave man, who has saved me and our kingdom?" asked the princess. "My name is George," answered the stranger. That is the tale of brave St. George and how he saved a kingdom from a terrible dragon. The end. So this is the painting based off of the story. And if you come closer, if you click on it, you can zoom into different areas. But you might recognize the images from the story. The illustrations from the story are directly from this painting, just zoomed in. So the painting was painted way back in the 1400s. It was painted in 1434 and 1435. These paintings with such great detail take painters a long time to paint. So this one was done in over a year's time. So if we zoom in, you can see just how much detail is in there. The gold detailing around the horse's saddle. Let's see, and look at the dragon's ferocious mouth and teeth. This spot right here is interesting to me. Does that look like anything right here? To me, it reminds me of fingers, but then when I pull back out, I realize, oh, that's just the rock. But even little details of lizards on the rock where the princess is standing. And back here is that scene of the villagers where the hand pulled the villager out to feed the dragon. So you can just zoom into different spots and see some great things. The artist really worked with light and dark, we call that value, to create the wave in the clothing of the knight. So I hope you enjoyed that painting and the story behind it, because oftentimes I talk to you about how artists create stories in their paintings or tell stories in their paintings, and here exactly is an example of an artist who told a story that was a traditional story was presented in this painting, and it's called St. George Killing the Dragon. So I'm going to go back to our main menu. Some other things you can do, there's 2 other stories here you can check out. There's also Matchup, In matchup, there are a series of different activities. You could match up sound, you can match up shape, and you can match up texture. I'm going to show you match up shape. This is a painting here, and you take your different shapes that are in pink in the side box and try to find them in the painting. So this letter L, I'm just going to pick up and carry over, and I'm just going to start to highlight. Can you see now the word love there in the painting? So this painting is about love. You can see that also with the hearts. And I take the heart and I line it up with the heart that it matches. Do you see this shape? Does that look a little familiar to you of anything? It's an upside down shoe, and there's the girl's shoe there. This shape here and the hair on the man are the same, so I'm going to line that up. And this bumpy line here is the skirt of the girl, or tutu, not sure. I'll line that up here. And this is one of the leaves down here. I think that one. And then once you get through the shapes, then it'll tell you more about that painting that you see there. So this painting was, my dog is interested in what's happening on the street, boys and girls. Sorry about that. Okay, so this work is called Vignette Number 2 by Carrie James Marshall. Okay. And the last segment on the site is Play with Art. When you go to Play with Art, there's a variety of different things. One is portraits, another is mask maker, and the last one is Cornell boxes. I'm going to show you mask maker. This is pretty cool because it tells you a little bit about how masks are used throughout the world. And then once you go into it, then you can try to make your own mask. So in the mask maker section, you just pick 5 animals, and it shows you a little description about those animals or the characteristic that those animals might be known for. So if you feel like you are as speedy as an antelope, as curious as a cat, as beautiful as a butterfly, as graceful as a monkey, and as wise as a turtle, then maybe your mask would look like that. So you can choose to print it if you have printer access. I know not everyone does, and that's okay. Or if you print it, you could color it and share that with me. I'd love to see what you've created. Otherwise, you could use that image to draw your own mask and inspire you to draw your own mask. If you just hit try again, you get a blank canvas again, and you can try a new set of 5. The possibilities are quite extreme because of all the choices there. So if you pick 5 different ones each time, you'll have quite a few different masks that you can choose from. So this is the site I wanted to share with you. I hope you're finding time to make art. Sometimes enjoying art isn't always about making, but like the story and the matchup section, just exploring art as well. So boys and girls, I miss you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.